What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here with a book review. I just finished Broken Harts, The Life and Death of Owen Hart by Martha Hart with Eric Francis. If you're not familiar with Owen Hart was arguably one of the greatest pro wrestlers to never really get his huge big break. He died in 1999 at the Over the Edge pay-per-view after falling some 80 feet from the rafters, doing a gimmick where he would rappel from the rafters down to the ring. Well, he unfortunately there was some misgivings with the latch, and he fell 80 feet to his death. He landed on the top turnbuckle and had his aorta. He hit so hard it separated his aorta from his heart, and he painfully died 6 minutes later. So this is the story about him from the beginning to the end, from the eyes of Martha Hart, with her first person opinions, and she's interviewed a lot of people about it, and she gives a lot of insight from her perspective. Owen, honest to goodness, is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. This was written only a few years after his death. And Martha, I'm sure she's still very upset to this day about it, but she definitely it's scathing what she has to say about Vince McMahon. She puts him as the front runner to blame for being really chintzy, being cheap with what they did with his stunts, and being an overall pretty crappy businessman. She's definitely very biased. She despises pro wrestling, basically. It's a carny thing, and carnival attraction, rather, whatever you want to call it, and definitely not a wrestling fan. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from her. I'm sure the loss of a spouse after 17 years is sure horrendous. But, I mean, she puts wrestling down, and she's also incredibly biased. There's a passage here. Like, she talks about, I don't know if you remember, but Owen gave a tombstone pile driver, his variation of it, to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm just going to read it really quick. Although Owen got along with pretty much all of his colleagues, he disliked Austin on a personal level. Owen thought he just wasn't a very nice person. Besides, he was one of those wrestlers who started believing he really was a world champion. The relationship soured even more during a match in August 1997. Owen administered a routine quote-unquote tombstone pile driver, a move that is made by picking up an opponent, flipping him upside down, and placing his head near your lower thighs before dropping it to your knees. It was suggested Owen placed Austin's head too low before dropping him. As a result, Austin was left lying on the canvas claiming to be temporarily paralyzed. The incident kept Austin out of action for an extended period of time, and Owen took a lot of heat from the fans. Being a seasoned, extremely cautious wrestler, Owen told me he has executed the move properly. He would have felt horrible if he had hurt anyone, but he would have owned up if he had done something wrong. In this case, he suspected Austin was being dishonest. He even told me weeks beforehand he thought Austin might fake an injury. Either Austin was using the incident as an excuse for some time off if he truly injured his neck, which surgery would indicate. Owen figured the damage had been done prior to the routine match. Now, I would definitely recommend going on YouTube or whatever you want to do and looking at that if you've not seen that match. But, I mean, honest to goodness, that was a huge botch move, meaning it was a mess up. No one administers the tombstone like that, where they lift their opponent and they land straight in their butt. I mean, she's either Owen lied to her or she's just making this up. She's got this like hero complex apparently. I don't know, but I'm not taking anything away from Owen. I'm just saying she's extremely biased, and obviously, if you've seen that move, it's not a textbook way to do that move. So it's just, if you're gonna read this book, definitely, understand it's done from a widow's perspective and not a wrestling fan whatsoever. She kind of insults a lot of people without even really knowing them. But in all, Owen was a great superstar, and it's pretty sad. It's incredibly sad. I was watching the pay-per-view when it happened. So, yeah. I don't know if anyone else has read this book. Yeah. Let me know what you think of it. And, yeah. Have a good day.